Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. We are Group 1 and today we will be presenting our topic Economic Policy and Macroeconomic Challenge in France. France is one of the most developed countries in Europe. It is famous for its rich culture, delicious food, luxury fashion brands and landmarks like the Eiffel Tower. Besides being a popular tourist destination, France is also an important member of the European Union with a strong economy. In this presentation, we will explain France's fiscal policy, monetary policy, the country's main macroeconomic challenge, and which is the inflation, and how the government responds to this issue.
So I would like to present about France. So as we all know, France is one of the famous countries in the world and is well known for its rich culture, long history and iconic landmarks. It is also recognized as one of the most visited countries globally, attracting around 100 million international tourists every year. One interesting fact about France is its famous landmark, the Eiffel Tower. During summer, the tower can become approximately 15 centimeters taller because the iron structure expands when temperatures increase. Besides that, France is widely recognized for its food culture. Some famous French food include croissants, baguettes, and macaroons, which are enjoyed by people all around the world. Due to its cultural significance, French gastronomy was added to the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List in 2010. In addition, France is also known as the home of many famous luxury fashions such as Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Dior, and Hermes. These brands have made French fashion highly influential across the world. Lastly, France has more than 45,000 castles and chateaux, reflecting its long and fascinating history. It is also one of the original members of the European Union and continues to play an important role in Europe.
And now, I'm gonna be explain about the French fiscal policy and monetary policy. First, we're gonna look at the French fiscal policy. Fiscal policy refer to the government decisions on taxations, government spending, and borrowing. The main purpose is to maintain economic stability and support economic growth. In France, the government spend money on the infrastructure, education, healthcare, and social protection programs. At the same time, they will collect tax to generate revenue and manage the national budget. During the period of high inflation, the French government will introduce energy price caps and provide subsidy for electricity, gas, and fuel. It also gave financial support to households and businesses. These measures will help to reduce the rising cost of living, protect people purchasing powers, and support the economy. And now, we can move on to monetary policy. Monetary policy is used to control the money supply, interest rates, and inflation. Since France is part of the Eurozone, the monetary policy is managed by the European Central Bank, or be known as ECB, instead of the French government. The main objective is to maintain price stability, control inflation, and support the economic growth. The ECB controls the economy by changing the interest rates. For example, when the inflation is high, they will increase the interest rates to reduce borrowing and spending. When the economy is weak, they will lower interest rates to encourage borrowing, spending, and investment. This helps keep inflation under control while supporting the economic recovery. In conclusion, fiscal policy and monetary policy work together to help France control inflation, support economic growth, and maintain a stable economy.
This slide explains inflation in France. Inflation is the general increase in the price of goods and services over time. In France, the main type of inflation was cost-push inflation, which happened because production costs increased As a result, business pass these extra costs on to consumers by raising price. The two main causes were rising energy price, such as fuel, gas, and electricity, and supply chain disruption after the COVID-19 pandemic, which caused shortage of raw materials and delivery delays. These factors led to several impacts, including higher prices for goods and services, and increased cost of living, lower purchasing power, and higher operating costs for business. Next, this graph shows the inflation rate in France from 2020 to 2024. In 2020, inflation was low at 0.5% because economic activity slowed during the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2021, the inflation rate increased to 1.6% as the economy began to recover. The highest inflation rate was recorded in 2022 at 5.2%. This sharp increase was mainly caused by rising energy price, supply chain disruption, and stronger consumer demand after the pandemic. In 2023, inflation remained high at 4.9%, although it started to stabilize. Finally, in 2024, inflation fell to 2.0% as economic conditions improved and government inflation control measures become more effective. Overall, the graph shows that inflation became a major challenge for France after the pandemic, reaching its peak in 2022 before gradually declining in 2024. This slide shows the main effect of inflation in France. First, inflation increased the cost of living. Prices of essential goods such as food, housing, transportation, and utilities become more expensive, so households have to spend more on daily necessities. Second, inflation reduced purchasing power. This means people can buy fewer goods and services with the same amount of income, which lowers their standard of living. Third, business face higher operating costs because the prices of energy, raw materials, and transportation increase. To maintain profits, many businesses raise their selling price. Finally, inflation can slow economic growth by reducing consumer spending and discouraging business investment. Overall, inflation creates financial challenges for both households and business, making it more difficult to achieve stable economic growth.
Next, I will explain how the French government responds to inflation. To reduce the impact of rising price, France used fiscal policy. First, the government kept energy price increase to prevent electricity, gas, and fuel price from rising too much. Second, it provides subsidy for electricity, gas, and fuel to help households and businesses to manage higher living and operating costs. Lastly, the government also gives financial support and tax relief to low-income families and businesses. This measure helped protect people's purchasing power and supported business during the inflation periods. Overall, this fiscal measure helped reduce this impact of inflation and supported France's economic recovery. In conclusion, France faced a serious macroeconomic challenge, especially inflation. The main causes were rising energy price, supply chain disruption, and increased demand after the COVID-19 pandemic. As a result, the cost of living increased, purchasing power declined, and businesses faced higher production costs. However, through the government fiscal measure and the European Central Bank monetary policy, France managed to reduce inflation and improve economic stability. This action helps support economic recovery and restore confidence in the French economy. That's all from us. Thank you.